week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business. They don't get to say what they like. I just pull them out of the crowd and I tell them, this is how you're going to do it. Let's have a quick look. Let me look through my thing. Here we go. Here's a person we haven't seen really, like, who hasn't all year, hasn't had a chance to speak to Business at Breakfast. I'm going to chuck this one in right now. Miss Fiona, welcome aboard. Haven't
Hello,
seen,
thank you.
haven't actually realised, because I see you often enough, that you haven't spoken to Business at Breakfast this year. So we have the wonderful Fiona Fell from Method&Matter in with us today. She's a WordPress expert. She's a website designer, and she's been with Business at Breakfast for quite some time. So Fiona, here's what I want you to do. Do your elevator pitch again and give us a quick history of how it is that you came about building these websites, and then stop talking so that we can ask you questions.
Awesome. Yeah, the short version. Okay. Hi, I'm Fiona Fell from Method&Matter. I'm a website developer, and I build websites that turn internet strangers into high-value clients so that you get to work with your perfect people. I came to be a web geek because I'm a nerd from, well, my day dot, I guess. I opened things, I pulled them apart, put them back together again. They got expensive, so I moved over to software because you could just reboot that and start over. Moved into website development so I could help non-techie people do techie stuff to make their businesses more awesome. And here I am 25 years later.
25 years later.
Still doing the thing. Yep.
That puts it as websites being available way back in 2000. And
yeah, I'm older than the internet and web.
I didn't even have a computer. I met Simon 18 years ago, and I had a computer, and I loved the idea of a computer, so I had one, although it wasn't set up. And I think eventually I just did set it up to watch movies. And then someone came along and decided that that was too small to watch as a TV screen. But then he would say things to me like, well, why don't we just Google it? Google it? What are you even saying? And I worked in furniture. I was a salesman in furniture. Simon worked in the warehouse. That's how I met him, in the warehouse at the furniture store. And somewhere along the line, I needed an updated computer. So this computer I never used for years, then couldn't do stuff. So I needed a more updated one. And I decided on an Apple. Everyone's gone, oh, you're going down that line. I don't understand. A computer's a computer. I just want to go on the internet and send some emails. Like, seriously. I didn't end up buying the Apple computer, but I did get myself employed by them, because the first time I went in, they were so poor at serving me that I said, I will go back to the store down the street and they'll offer me a job before I leave. And they did. And it was in there because Apple computers are live. They were hooked up to the internet. And so when someone came in, they could play with them and use them and get on the internet. And so we're still looking at around, 2007, 2008, 2010, right? And then people would come in and they'd ask me questions. And because someone would say, we'll Google it, we'll Google it, we'll Google it, then someone would be in asking a question. And I said, well, apparently there's this really cool thing out there. I don't know, let's go over to the computer. It's Google. Apparently we could just ask the questions, and customers would say, oh my God, why didn't I think of it? I've gone, I have no idea, but I've only just heard of it, and I work in a computer shop. So the fact that you've been doing this for 25 years blows my mind. Because I know that Apple computers have been around since the 80s, but seriously, blows my mind, Fiona. So what are the top 3 things that we need to know about websites that are going to trip us up, that annoy us, or that your customers come to you with the top 3 problems about their website?
First would have to be service professionals landing on e-commerce platforms. So an accountant on Shopify trying to sell services, but asking for product inventory volumes. Like, you don't sell accountants by the unit most of the time, so that they follow a YouTube ad, find themselves a free trial and have a crack themselves, and then find themselves in a pickle. Subsequent to that, they don't know what to do after they fill it with their contact details. So they've got their brochure or their flyer or their business card, and they stick that on the internet, and then they just stop and let it collect digital dust. And then more along that digital dust line, someone else helps them build it, and it launches and it gets left alone forever. So your website's not a billboard, it's a shop front. And if you don't update the window with the seasons and when things change, you're looking a bit out of date in August when you've got your Christmas decorations up.
Okay.
Unless you're Santa Claus, then you can do that all year round.
That's right. Yeah, Christmas or
Santa
year.
Papa John's got a free pass on that one, but everyone
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
if you're doing Christmas in August, you're weird.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You can do July, but you can't
No.
do Christmas in August.
No, it's going to pop
Christmas-
up for a little bit and then go away again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mac, you've got your hand up.
Fiona, so far so good. I have a question for you. What is something that you don't do when it comes to websites?
Something I don't do. I don't build e-commerce shops for people who sell stuff that goes in boxes and gets shipped across the countryside. I just work with service professionals who sell their brain power.
And what kind of service professionals are your niche or your bread and butter?
My love, heart-centered peoples, the allied health and complementary health practitioners, the people who want to make everyone else's lives better.
You know, I didn't know that
Thank
about
you.
that you just do service professionals. There you go. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Diane, you've got your hand up.
Yes, Fiona, so how you maintain websites, so it's most probably you look at them monthly or something. What does that cost?
Maintenance is $500 plus GST for Aussies. And I look at your website daily because lots of bad stuff happens on the internet quite quickly. And it's best that we update things so the bad guys don't get in. And if they do get in, we restore the backup we took yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Special delivery. Thank you. Skills.
Matt, you got your hand up again?
Yes. Do you build a lot of back-end stuff or it's more front-end stuff? Are you building back-end systems? That's my question.
I build what the clients need. Generally on the front end, I'm in love and locked into WordPress, but what I can connect it to is dependent on what the client needs. So if they've got clinic management software or CRMs and sales pipeline things, we will connect WordPress to the other stuff in their business so that it does all the things it needs to do. Most of my clients don't need custom development because most off-the-shelf things can be wiggled enough to do what they need them to do.
Okay, thank you.
Let's say I've got a website and I'm unhappy with it, but I built it myself and I can't remember much about it and it's not WordPress. Can I have a conversation with you about that?
Absolutely. Happy to chat about any website, all of the websites or the maybe websites to come.
Okay, so you're kind of like the go-to girl for all website problems, really. So do you do audits on websites to just check out what's working, what's not working, even if it's not a WordPress one or sort of your main area that you work?
Yep, I have a pick my brain service for $250 where you can ask all of your geeky, nerdy, and adjacent questions about all sorts of websitey, businessy, system, internety things.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Yep. Donna, you've got your hand up?
Donna, you're on mute.
Sorry, I thought I was off
That's
mute.
okay.
You said you do service professionals. What do you classify as that?
A person who doesn't sell an item that goes in a box and gets shipped across the countryside. So if it's not e-commerce or retail, if you don't sell things exclusively,
But what if I sell both services and things?
I can help you. I just don't help people who have shops and see their website as a digital landlord.
All right.
I've helped a naturopath who sells supplements, a personal trainer who sells programs and little exercise bands. So their main thing is helping people do an experience of some sort, and they sell some stuff on the side. So that still fits.
Yeah, because I've got caught twice. I have a WordPress site, and I did the original myself, and then somebody else come and said it was terrible, so they fixed it. And then another person come along and said they did it and they put in something I can't use anymore. So I'm desperate to get it sorted so I can do it again myself. But I was a bit concerned when you said service professionals if I fitted in.
I can help you out. We can always start with the chat, and if I'm not the right geek, I'll find you a different one. But if I am, I can help you out.
Okay, thanks.
I love it. Not the right geek. I love it. It so fits. Debbie Barker, got your hand up?
I do. First, I want to tell you guys, she really knows her stuff. So if you have a problem with any of your website, you need to talk to Fiona first. Okay, now here's my question. What is a good thing for us to have on our website?
A good
That
theme.
people get there, no, a good thing, like, you know,
A
that
good
people
thing?
expect,
Oh,
people would
Mm.
expect to see on websites that
that, well,
get
a
us
thing that
noticed.
people expect to have on websites that often isn't on websites is all the stuff Misty wants us to put into the chat box. Phone numbers, email addresses, a way to contact you to buy your stuff. The number of times I've tried to convince an accountant or a finance broker to put their phone number on their website and not just a weird little contact form that they'll get back to in 3 to 5 business days. If I want to do business with you and buy from you, let me talk to you. Even if I have to leave a voicemail for the robots and you'll call me back later, let me start that conversation now. So put your phone
Good
number
point. I like that.
everywhere.
Yeah, I can't
Thank you.
stand that about websites when you go,
Mm.
like, say, even with the contact section, you go there and there's a form and you fill out a form. But hey, still give me your phone number and your email address. At least look like you're friendly. I can fill out forms and nobody writes back. And then I wonder, did the form end up with you? Or did it end up into the cyber junk post somewhere, like, and then how
Are
do I
they
follow up
ignoring
on
you
that?
or did the gremlins get it?
That's right. And now I've got no contact details to sort out. It's kind of a bit like having a LinkedIn channel, like a LinkedIn thing. And then in the contact section, the only thing in the contact section is your LinkedIn site. But hey, I'm already on it. I worked that part out. It'd be nice to actually know the rest. It just shows if you're friendly or unfriendly. That's how it works from a sales perspective. If you're friendly, doesn't mean anyone's going to contact you. It just means they could contact you now because you're friendly. But if you don't have it there, then it shows that maybe you're not that friendly. Now I have a reason not to contact you.
Oh yeah, and if you're an in-person, people show up to visit you place, put your address with a little button to GPS you because they're probably lost and can't find you and are running late.
I like it.
That's so true about having your details on the website. I get lots of web forms now from people overseas or people in the middle of the night who decide not to ring me, which is really nice of them. But having my mobile number out there, other than all the spam I get, is terrific because people can just ring me up and book and ask questions. But
So much
before I had
faster.
my number on the website, it didn't work that way.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because the ones that are calling you up to spam you or sell you something or upgrade your superannuation or whatever it might be, sell you, you know, like the sky panels on the roof for the sun and the electricity, right? They find your number anyway. If you don't put it out there, they'll find your number. But
I put it on a big sign on the Narrabri Road, so why not put it on my website?
That's right. You may as well just have it. I know with my Google business page, I have, well, people have told me in the past, they don't tell me now, but in the past, people said, your actual address is on that. Well, back in the olden days, we used to have a thing called a phone book, and it had everybody's address. And it turns out we're all fairly safe. But they've gone, yeah, but it's like there and people could come to your house. And I said, the fact that they don't probably means I'm not that famous. And if they did, if I had a streamload of weirdos coming knocking on the door, I'm obviously famous enough that I have the cash to move at a second's notice. So really, where is my problem sitting? So what does it matter? People have your contact details. I don't think the majority of the world is looking to find you, but make it easy for the few that are. Adam, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just a really quick one. Fiona, sometimes people's website gets in a mess. They need someone to help them. How easy is that? Because I know that you offer a website, I'll go in and check it up for you type of a service.
There is a health check, a recovery, and an emergency room triage option. If you are bleeding or broken a bone or crashed a car, we can help you get yourself sorted back to healthy. Later, we can maintain it to keep it healthy, but we can get you back on track. And that starts at $300. If you've got your passwords. A little bit more if I have to speak to your past geeks to track them down.
That's fair enough, right? They take a bit to get on the phone.
They
Excellent.
probably don't. They make me submit tickets and reply and then eventually get authorization.
And they have
do
no
more
contact
tickets.
details. They just have a form that you're not really sure where that's going. Isn't that interesting?
a
Mac,
fun
you've got your
challenge.
hand up.
Yes, thank you. This is going to relate to Debbie's question. What thing do you want to see not on websites? What trend do you want to see stopped when it comes to websites?
Not particularly trendy right now, but was awfully trendy a few years ago and hasn't died yet. I'd like to see it die a faster death. And that is giant hero message sections that are sliding and full of text. They break conversion rates. So if you had 100 people visit your website and 6 people were going to buy a thing, and you've got a giant slider on the top of the page that is full of interesting information that's gone before you can finish reading it, and a new one's turned up, and then another 2 new ones turned up, and another new one's turned up, and I was trying to click the first one, but you don't have buttons to let me move back to the first one. That's screwing you over, costing you sales, costing you clients, and annoying people. And it doesn't probably work on a mobile phone, so stop that.
Yeah, okay. And if you want an example of what that looks like, look up the Domino's app for Domino's pizzas. Look that up and then say that you're going to buy a pizza. And then you'll see there's a sliding app across there. Now, they have it easy enough that you can go back and find that. But just as you're starting to read, oh, can I get like 3 desserts for, what was that? What was that? Like, I was just getting a pizza, now I want dessert, but what was that? And then how do I refine that button? It takes a bit to try and work that out. Otherwise, you
It's
sit there waiting
distracting.
for it to scroll through. Yeah, to find out what you have to do.
It gets in the way of getting their credit card. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So there you go. Domino's app will help you out. To
Thank you.
exactly what Fiona's saying. Excellent. Thanks, Fiona. Charles.
Slightly more technical question. I built an app in Replit to calculate an ROI of my services. So I do a quick sort of like workshop, identify what the benefit to the customer is, and then have my own cost structures that we put in place. It generates an ROI of my services. Can I embed Replit apps into my website, and is that a good idea?
I need to look into the specifics of what your website is and where you've got it now, but if you have a publicly available interface right now, we could slide that into your website.
Okay.
The good idea part, yes. For someone who finds out your price and goes, is it worth it? If that's a problem some of your clients or prospective clients are having, what do I get? What's it worth? What can I expect and when kind of calculator tool is a great addition to help people decide to inquire or to buy the thing right now if it's the self-service thing. But if you find people get confused by too many questions on that, or it's hard to use, or it doesn't work on a small phone, or the buttons are too small for fat fingers on a small phone, any of those kind of things, it could be doing more harm than good. And maybe you run that through during a sales call or a chat with them after. So helpful for decision making, maybe not before inquiry.
Yeah, no, it's for decision making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
So maybe on the confirmation screen after they've booked their call with you or something like that. After they've gone, oh, I'm committed to talk to Charles. Let's see what I'm going to get out of this. So might boost your turn up rate if that's a problem.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Fiona. Thanks, Charles, for the question. Mac, lucky last.
Thank you. I don't know if you're seeing this in Australia. I'm seeing this in North America, but we're talking about getting rid of things and maybe shooting it behind a barn, and that is cookies. I don't like being tracked when it comes to websites. Maybe because I don't have a sweet tooth, but can we do away with cookies? Is that happening in Australia?
There are many websites that ask you with a very large pop-up if you would like to accept cookies, all of the cookies, some of the cookies, only the choc chip ones. All of those options pop up on all the websites all the time. Generally because we got scared of the GDPR privacy stuff that was happening in Europe, or anyone who communicates with Europe or trades with Europe, but we're global, so we all do that, or the geeks put it on there for you. I've seen people put nicer language around it, so we're a bit more compliant. But if you want Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel or any of those kind of tracking your visitor stats stuff on your website, that has a cookie, so you need to put the alert up. to get consent to track people, or your stats are wrong. So you get a little bit of inaccuracy for those who don't want to play with the cookies, but you do need to disclose them, depending on your national privacy laws and that sort of disclosure agreements.
It's probably because I hate cookies. That's why.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can send little
Thank
meat
you.
bites or meatballs
Going for
instead.
all cookies. I mean,
Yeah, put them on your website. I don't like cookies, so here, accept my meatballs. Like, whatever.
going chocolate chip. I'm currently going the
That's
mint
good.
slice, dark chocolate coated mint with a chocolate biscuit in the middle. Like, seriously, what's wrong with cookies?
I'm hearing IKEA come through, Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, and you get a little portion of them, and you can choose whether you want them with the veggies or not. But it's an awareness of, I am tracking your visit here. You're probably anonymous,
that
but
what
if
it
you're
means?
in, yeah. So
But it was
you are a
allowing me to
user.
go find the website again later when I need it. Well, shit, I'm
No,
going.
it doesn't help you. It helps the website owner or the advertisers on the website to follow you around further. So if
Oh.
you're going to, well, I don't know, I'd say Amazon, but they don't have other people's ads anymore. So if you're going to a mummy blogger website looking for a chocolate chip cookie recipe, or Mac, maybe not, and you read their life story, find the recipe, and there's ads on the side for cooking trays and other assorted goodies, the advertiser is putting code on that website to track you, so the ad can follow you to Facebook, and the ad can follow you to Instagram, and the ad can follow you whenever you go to the fishing shop to look for bait and tackle. There's cookie sheets on the side. You can buy their brand of choc chips. That stuff is what cookies do.
There you go. But technically our phone has that embedded in it anyway, because if we walk around not being on our phone, but just happen to say, so I was thinking of going shopping with your mom today, Simon, and we were going to look at jeans, then my phone clearly has some sort of weird cookies in it. Because even though I wasn't using it, all of a sudden all these ads for jeans would just pop up like as if it heard me. So, but all right,
Doing
now
some
I
fun
understand.
stuff like that, or maybe the particular activating system in your brain is just noticing the gene ads that were always there.
Maybe
Now you're
red
noticing.
car. There was always the red
Purple
car.
car. No one sees purple car until the Cadbury rep turns up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, there you go. Well, I've learned something about.
Thank you.
I didn't understand that, and that Mac doesn't like them. Well, that's unfortunate. You're missing out on.
Please
that.
have my cookie, okay? Your mint cookie. Have one for me, please.
Yeah, I'm going to. So clearly you're not a sugar
Thank you.
person. You've just locked
No.
yourself out of the world of Tom Cruise, just so that you know.
Good.
Right? Because Tom Cruise, he says he loves sugar. He said, but when he's training, he can't have it. He said, so he then buys it and sends it to other people. You're out. You're off his list. There's no chance now with you. It's done. All right, then. Thank you, Fiona, for being our speaker today. Thank you, audience, for participating. There's my tongue. So thank you, audience, for participating today with the Q&A with Fiona.